Hello and welcome once more to Chewy Red Radio. I am with my esteemed colleagues, Professor John Reed and Matt Ingham. And we've got a really great show for you today with a lot of Chewy Red releases, some latest box sets, and also some really good tracks that are not connected with Chewy Red. So I'm going to start you off with the Professor, who's going to run us through 3 different box sets that he was involved with. So, John, over to you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, so regular listeners will know that we regularly release compilations themed around various eras and styles of music. The first one I wanted to chat about is called Heaven Sent, The Rise of New Pop, 1979 to 83, which was inspired by something that Paul Morley, who went on to be so involved with ZTT Records, but was then a music journalist, talked about this idea of new pop after sort of punk in the early 80s. This idea of something glossy and new and very modern. And so this new, I think it's 4 CD compilation, includes artists like ABC, Soft Cell, The Cure, The Human League, Funboy 3. And we're going to hear 2 tracks from that. Hanging Around, a cover of the Stranglers song by Hazel O'Connor, and Tiny Children by The Teardrop Explodes.
as I sit in disarray, I am thinking of a dream I never had. Then I awake, and for a while I call your name in Colin's house, but tiny children have a way of falling down. Oh, I could make a meal of that wonderful despair I feel, but waking up I turn and face the wall. The car arrives and takes me back again, drifting through imaginary plays and fighting men aboard a raft. A sailing ship has run aground, and confidence is valued in these days. But each character is plundering my home and taking everything that is my own. Oh no, I'm not sure about those things that I cared about. Oh no, I'm not sure, not anymore. Oh no, I'm not sure about those things that I cared about. Oh no, I'm not sure, not anymore.
You just heard two tracks from a new compilation on Cherry Red, Heaven Sent, The Rise of New Pop, 1979 to 83, Hanging Around by Hazel O'Connor, and Tiny Children by Julian Cope's Teardrop Explodes. A similar compilation.
I just wanted to say, John, before you move on, that of course we've all been quite friendly with Hazel, and very sadly she had a major stroke about 3 or 4 years ago, which means she'll probably never tour again, which is very sad indeed, because she was always great on stage.
Yeah, very sad indeed. We wish her well.
So good luck to Hazel.
Absolutely. Another new compilation, again 4 CD on Cherry Red, themed around 80s independent music, is Cut Me Deep, a story of indie pop 1985 to 1989, a direct sequel to a similar package we did a couple of years ago called The Sunshine Seer, which shone a light on the first half of the decade. And both of them really follow on from a 5 CD set we did called Scared to Get Happy in 2013, which for us really sort of threw the doors open in terms of the possibilities of what we can do with these various artist sets. Anyway, back to Cut Me Deep. This is really, I suppose, centred around the C86 generation of bands. There's a sort of Bobby Gillespie lookalike on the front. And we're going to hear 4 tracks from Cut Me Deep. The Wiseacres' So Finally Sweet, an obscure Cherry Red single. Stop Killing Me by the Primitives, which at the time was picked up by Morrissey. I think he used to wear a Primitives t-shirt. The Times with Heaven Sent Me an Angel, which was on Creation, our good friend Edward Ball. Another band close to Cherry Red's heart, Down on Your Knees by the Pop Guns. just heard 4 tracks from a new 4 CD set, Cut Me Deep, A Story of Indie Pop, 85 to 89, So Finally Sweet by the Wiseacres, Stop Killing Me by the Primitives, Heaven Sent Me an Angel by the Times, Down on Your Knees by the Pop Guns, and I just want to indulge myself for a second. Back when I was a budding journalist for Record Collector, the day before I did my first ever interview, this would be in about early 1990, we went to see the Pop Guns in West Drayton to about 10 people, and they were lovely, and we were chatting with them afterwards, and I explained I was just joining this magazine, Record Collector, and I was off to interview in Spiral Carpets the next day, and they were like, oh, wow, good luck. I said I was a bit nervous. And that was when I was about 24. When I was twice that age, I'd moved to Manchester. I was working for Cherry Red, and I managed to convince the Inspiral Carpets to record a brand new studio album. And I found myself in a studio in South Manchester, and I had a cup of tea, and I'm sitting there. There's Clint Boone on keyboards. The band are recording a new record, and I thought, God, if I'd have known that half my lifetime ago, I would have been tickled pink. Anyway, thank you for allowing me to share that with you. Moving on to another compilation. Ring the Bells and Sing. This is our good friend Mark Powell on his esoteric label. It's been running through the underground stroke progressive scene for really through the years from 1967 onwards. And this is the latest volume devoted to 1975. And from that we're going to hear Didn't Matter Anyway by Hatfield and the North. Back to you, Iain, to talk about a man from Wales?
Well, we have a 3 CD box set coming out featuring John Cale called Ship of Fools. And it's actually 3 albums and various singles and some outtakes, etc. And the 3 albums are Fear, Slow Dazzle and Helen of Troy. And I've chosen to play the title track of the box and also one of the albums, Ship of Fools.
By the time we got to Swansea,
That was Ship of Fools by John Cale. And most of you will probably know all about John Cale. Started off with the Velvet Underground, as John said. He was a Welshman but moved to America. He was thrown out of the Velvet Underground in 1968 and then was a producer and arranger on albums by Stooges and Nico, various other people, and became a legend in his own right. And I remember a story that when I was talking to our friend Attila the stockbroker once about John Cale, and he went to see John Cale play. He was a huge fan of his, Attila was. And he went up afterwards and said what a fan he was, and he asked him if he remembered that he had supported him in a gig in the 80s. And John Cale said, "Man, I don't remember anything about the 80s." It's not a very good Welsh accent, but that gives you an idea of...
he produced the first Happy Mondays album in the 80s.
He doesn't remember it, though.
No, well, I don't imagine Happy Mondays do either.
So anyway, that was John Cale. And then we're also going to play a track, which I came across, an old track by Robert Wyatt called Sea Song. And here it is.
Different in the spring. I know you're a seasonal beast, like the starfish that drift in with the tide, So until your blood runs to meet the next full moon, your madness fits in nicely with my own, Your lunacy fits neatly with my own, my very own. alone.
That was Sea Song by Robert Wyatt, and that was actually from his 1974 album, Rock Bottom. Gosh, that's 50 years ago. And that was a great album, which I owned at the time and played many, many times, I have to say. And there's been various covers of that song, and what I read online was it's a difficult song to cover, but there was a really good version apparently by Tears for Fears. So that's Sea Song by Robert Wyatt. So I'm going to pass over to myself. And Cherry Red have, after many, many years of it first being released, putting out a special edition of Tracey Thorn's solo album, A Distant Shore, which came out, must have been 1981 when it came out, when she just left the Marine Girls. So Marine Girls were, when she was in there, the latter years was a three-piece with Jane and Alice. Before that was a four-piece band. I saw them play many, many times. And she did this album called A Distant Shore, and it was recorded really, really cheaply in a garden shed. And it really was done in a garden shed. And we almost had a hit at the time with a track called Plain Sailing.
Meetings arranged, they say never work out. I say we've proved them wrong without doubt. I can't remember now just what we said. I never could have guessed what lay ahead. As I ran towards you up the stairs, did a voice in my ear cry, beware. Even now I'm surprised Tempting to think now it will all be plain sailing. Old enough now to know there's no such thing.
That was Plain Sailing by Tracey Thorn off A Distant Shore, which has been reissued with some extra tracks actually, and mainly demos from her album that she did with Ben Watt. The album she did with Ben Watt under the name of Everything But the Girl. And my memory of that album at the time, A Distant Shore, was that Tracey gave me a cassette copy of it when she'd finished it to see what I thought. And I went off to Greece on holiday for 2 weeks. I took it with me, played it on an old-fashioned cassette player, and I must have played that album 30, 40 times. I absolutely loved it. It was a great album. And although it wasn't actually a hit album, it stayed in the independent charts for many, many months, and of course helped launch her incredible career in Everything But the Girl with Ben Watt.
And I have to say, when did it come out? End of 82? Early 83? 82, right? September 82, maybe. And I was, 16 at the time, 17. And to our generation, who were in sixth form or whatever, and just kind of, pre-university, this record was just the quintessential bedsitter album. Everyone I knew had it, or listened to it, or taped it. It was just everywhere. And chatting to some of the people in the office of a certain age, we all were like, wow, we're so glad this record's back out there. And those demos are priceless to hear. So, yeah.
Okay, so John, I think I'm going to pass over to you now. You're going to talk about a couple of things.
Yeah, I mean, one of the joys of the progressive rock era, the early 70s, was how it embraced lots of individuals from around the world. One such chap is Stomu Yamashta. I hope I've done justice to the pronunciation of his name. Japanese multi-instrumentalist, but mostly keyboard player, who, was signed to Island Records back in the days when, especially labels like Island and Virgin, you really didn't have to have a hit album, but you were kept on. You would record 4 or 5 albums, and that was fine, as long as it didn't completely bomb. I think those days are long gone, obviously. And Esoteric, our resident progressive rock imprint, has done the decent thing by putting out Seasons, the Island albums 1972 to 76, which I think is at all good record stores near you. And from that box set, we're going to hear Wind Worlds. That was Wind Worlds from Stomu Yamashta from a new box set entitled Seasons, the Island album 72 to 76. Now
It was me who chose that track, and I listened to most of the box set. And there's so many great tracks on there, and it's actually very varied. But for me, Wind Worlds, somehow, it stood out. So that's the reason that we've played it.
Keeping it on a prog tip, I'm going to hand over to Matt to chat about Nektar.
Thanks, John. Yeah, I'm going to play a track from a recent 5-CD Nektar box that we put out on Esoteric. The album is called Recycled. It was released in 1975 and was quite fittingly a concept album about pollution and the environmental damage to the earth that is obviously still very prevalent today. So here's that track. It is called It's All Over.
Come tomorrow, I am going to be the one that you will follow. Your world is so upside down, 'cause it's all over now.
That was It's All Over by Nektar. I'm gonna keep on playing another track, this time by one of our favourites here at Chewy Red, Marc Almond. We've just reissued his 2013 album, The Dancing Marquis, on 2CD, expanded 2CD, and then a coloured vinyl edition as well. This was a good album for Marc. He recorded it with Tony Visconti and featured the likes of Carl Barrett from the Libertines, and Jarvis Cocker was on there. And I'm going to play the lead single from that, which is called Burn Bright.
Pull down a star and place it in my heart. Watch it grow into a galaxy, a universe of starlight burning bright. Turn on the moon and let me see it smile. The way is dark tonight, and like a linked child light my pathway home. Now I'm alone. Pull down a star, let it burn within my heart, burning as the brightest day. Burn bright until they fade away. In the blue hour between twilight and night, we're waiting for the moment that we can alight, illuminate and ignite. We're gonna ignite. Burn bright tonight. We're gonna explode under light. Burn bright tonight. We're gonna ignite. Burn bright tonight. We're gonna explode under light. Burn bright tonight. Pull down a star, let it burn within my heart, burning as the brightest day. Burn bright until we fade away. Pull down a star, let it burn within my heart, burning as the brightest day. Burn bright until we fade away. Until we fade away.
That was Burn Bright by Marc Almond, and now over to you, Ian.
Yes, we've had a relationship with Mercury Rev for several years now, and we've just reissued the All Is Dream album, which we put out on CD a time ago, on vinyl, and I'm going to play my favourite track on there, called The Dark Is Rising.
dreamed of you on my farm. I dreamed of you in my arms. But dreams are always wrong. I never dreamed I'd hurt you. I never dreamed I'd lose you. In my dreams I'm always strong. And now the creek is rising, and all my bridges burned. I always dreamed of big crowds, plumes of smoke and high clouds, but dreams don't last for long. When the stars are in position, all will be revealed. But I know that until then, unless the stars surrender, all will be concealed. And now the snow is falling, and all my fences torn. I know you need someone, and I can hear someone somewhere in this song.
That is The Dark Is Rising by Mercury Rev. And they have this week actually got a new album out on Bella Union, which we did play a track from on the last show. And the band, I think, are coming over to the UK for some live dates soon. I should add that All Is Dream was originally released in 2001, so that's a long time ago, 23 years ago. Now, the last show, we had on the track listing a track by the soundtrack of our lives. And we couldn't squeeze it in because I think John Reid talked too much. That was probably the reason why we couldn't squeeze it in. But then he said afterwards we left out the best track on the listing. So we're going to fit it in now. Here is Tonight from the soundtrack of our lives.
Tonight I am on top of the world. Tonight I'm the center of the universe. Tonight I am. Tonight I am. Last night I was nobody at all. Last night I was waiting for somebody to call. Last night I was. Last night I was. Last night I was the one that nobody wants to see. The one that nobody ever tries to know or even wants to be. Oh, isn't it good to say that everything comes your way? Tomorrow I'll be the same again. Tomorrow I'm gonna stop to pretend. Tomorrow I'll be. Tomorrow I'll be. Tomorrow I'll be.
That was Tonight by the soundtrack of our lives, and it was taken from their album Behind the Music. I don't know how many of you know about the band, but they're from Sweden. They were formed 1995, a long time ago. They disbanded for a time, for about 10 years actually, 2012, but they got back together again. And they're one of those bands I've never seen play live. I would love to see them play live. So hopefully one day they will come to the UK and I can see them.
Can I just say I saw Soundtrack of Our Lives back in the late 90s, I think, or early noughties. They were at Glastonbury. And I used to like a tipple back in the day. And I remember waking up at Glastonbury with quite a bad hangover. And the first band on, nearby stage, was Soundtrack of Our Lives. I think my memory is about 30 people there. It was about, 11 in the morning. They were astonishing. It was like seeing the best of the Stooges and MC5 and Oasis all wrapped up in one astonishing group. And of course, the track we played is quite melodic, but they were also this part of this whole Swedish kind of garage rock renaissance that included bands like The Hives and so on. And they were astonishing. And the main guy, of course, wears this kind of Jesus-style cape with a beard, and he was just the best frontman ever. Yeah, big fan. Anyway, enough of my waffle. I'm going to hand over to Matt to chat about Then Jericho.
Thanks, John. Yeah, I wanted to play a Then Jericho track. They were a band that, to be honest, I wasn't that familiar with before we did this box set, but it was a real pleasure working with their frontman, Mark Shaw, on this. The box set is called Before the Future, 84 to 89. And it's out now. It sort of brings together the best of the comprehensive collection of their London records output. And the track that I'm going to play is called Big Area.
surprise. I was shattered by your eyes, breaking down something so right and so fine.
That was Big Area by Then Jericho. And now back over to you, John.
Thanks, Matt. Yes, another new collection on our Grapefruit imprint this time. Some groups just get lost in the mix, and the Aerovons were one such example. Only released one record at the time in 1969, World of You, on Parlophone. And really, if it was only just down to that single, then we wouldn't be talking now. But what happened was that at the time, they recorded a world of stuff at Abbey Road, and it was unreleased. And then many, many moons later, one of our imprints, RPM Records, exhumed this album, and it was belatedly released to critical acclaim. And fast forward a few more years, and what we've done is, working with surviving members of the band, is to do the complete Aerovons, World of You, complete recordings, 2 CD set, which boasts all of the band's recordings from the late 60s and very early 70s, plus some new recordings from main man Tom Hartman. And from that compilation, we're going to play World of You. What else?
It's a new world of you, and I'm just a stranger here. It's a new thing to do, and I'm being quite sincere. Though I know I'm far from home, I'm going to stay till tomorrow. Without cost or obligation, I will turn my resignation into you. Without sorrow or reason to be blue. It's a new world of you, and I'm just a stranger here. It's a new thing to do, and I'm being quite sincere. There were no maps or drawn directions, magic potions for protection leading my path. There'll be no easy road returning to that world of wrath and yearning that I've known, never learning. And you can stay true. It's a new world of you, and I'm just a stranger here. It's a new thing to do, and I'm being quite sincere. It's a new world of you, and that's what I'm going to do.
That was World of You by the Aerovons from similarly titled new 2 CD set. And sticking with archive finds, things that at the time really were just on tape and never actually graced vinyl. A new package as part of our ongoing exhumation of the Joe Meek mythical T-chest tapes is Lone Rider John Leyton, the Holloway Road Sessions 1960 to 1962. And the subtitle also explains that it includes singles, the 2 sides of John Leyton album, sessions, demos, foreign language versions and more. Well, I don't think I need to say any more than that. It's perfectly explained. From that, we're going to hear, this is the original lyrics version of John Leyton's hit Johnny Remember Me.
When the mists are rising and the rain is falling and the wind is blowing cold across the moor, I hear the voice of my darling, the girl I loved who died a year ago. Well, it's hard to believe, I know, but I hear her singing in the sign of the wind, blowing in the treetops way above me. Yes, I'll always remember till the day I die. I'll hear her cry, Johnny, remember me. Well, someday I guess I'll find myself another little girl to take the place of my true love. But as long as I live, I know I'll hear her singing in the side of the wind, blowing in the treetops way above me. Yes, I'll always remember till the day I die. I'll hear her cry, Johnny, remember me. I'll always remember.
That was the original lyrics version of Johnny Remember Me by John Leyton from the new 3-CD set Lone Rider, as I say, part of our Joe Meek T-Chest Tapes series. Right, back to Matt to chat about one of Cherry Red's perennials.
Thanks, John. Yeah, another month, another Hawkwind release. There's probably one next month as well. But there's definitely one next month as well. But I'm going to play a track from the recent X in Search of Space deluxe box set that we did, recorded in 71, released in 71. It was one of the band's first true masterpiece, and my favourite album of theirs. We're not going to play my favourite track because that's over 10 minutes long, and I don't think we have the time, unfortunately.
What's your favourite track?
You Shouldn't Do That.
Okay.
Yeah, that is up there with one of the best tracks ever recorded. So we're going to play the mere 5 minute 23 second 7x7.
7 signs rode on 7 stars. 7 ways to find the long lost bards. 7 days became 7 years. While pokers laughed, confound years. 7 times cursed, 7 tears. Each one became their 7 fears. What is lost is never gained again. I've cast the spell that eternity chained again. No more to cry, oh mortal soul. The astral path is now your fortuitous road. Lost am I in this world, timelessness alone. Can I find the doorway to which I must go? Is the key to this place too much for me to try again? Is the passport to this world my address my address
That was 7 by 7 by Hawkwind, and now it's over to you, John.
Thanks, Matt. On reflection, I think a lot of Cherry Red's output, and indeed what we play on Cherry Red Radio, tends to be quite UK-centric, so it's refreshing to be able to play some American recordings. A new compilation on Grapefruit is entitled Pour a Little Sugar on It, The Chewy Sounds of American Bubblegum, 1966 to 71. Interesting. It was the whole bubblegum scene at the time was very much about sort of pop production line, years before the likes of Stock Aitken and Waterman. And this 3 CD set, which has got maybe I think 90 tracks or so, includes hits like the Archie Sugar Sugar, Simon Says by 1910 Fruit Gum Company, I Think We're Alone Now by Tommy James and the Shondells, and many more. And has artists like Neil Diamond and many famous acts and lots of obscurities as well. Mama Cass is another one to mention, maybe. Lemon Pipers. Anyway, we're going to hear 2 tracks from that. Bonafide Hit with A Little Bit Me, A Little Bit New by the Monkees, and The Joker Went Wild by Brian Hyland.
since I was a king. I thought, always a king. 'Cause I just captured someone's heart. But may I explain, I treated her mean. And then my kingdom fell apart. I found I couldn't sleep at night. And when I found her gone from sight, found out I loved her, became a joker. The joker went wild, and he couldn't smile, because he had lost everything. The joker went wild, and he couldn't smile. He felt no longer like a king. Some friendly advice, treat her heart nice, or she won't stay for very long, if at all. If you think you're a king and you know everything, just remember the joker, or you'll fall from her arms. You'll find you cannot sleep at night, and when you find her gone from sight, you'll find you loved her, become a joker. The joker went wild, and he couldn't smile, because he had lost everything. The joker went wild, and he couldn't smile.
You just heard two tracks from a new compilation called Pour Little Sugar on It, the chewy sounds of American Bubblegum, 66 to 71. Little Bit Me, A Little Bit You by The Monkees, which I think was written by Neil Diamond, but if I've got that wrong, I should be ashamed of myself. And a track I chose, for reasons I'll explain in a minute, The Joker Went Wild by Brian Hyland. And this single belatedly got picked up in the early 70s by the Northern Soul scene and played at places like the Wigan Casino. So although Brian Hyland was known as a rock and roll artist really in the UK, that track, you had people dancing to it all over the north of England. So a completely different context from a US bubblegum compilation. Another nice touch on this, on the front, lots of artists mentioned, including Velvet Underground, which might dismay those fans of the group. But of course, Lou Reed's background was writing for Pickwick Records, which was essentially a bubblegum label prior to the Velvet Underground, which was where he learned his craft to write pop songs. And Who Loves the Sun from Loaded is nothing if it's not a bubblegum song. So get over it. Anyway, moving on. Iain, I believe you want to chat about Fanny.
Yeah, Fanny they really were ahead of their time. They were American all-girl rock band from the mid-70s, and actually had 2 hit singles in America in the Billboard Hot 100, Top 40. It's based around 2 sisters, June and Jean Millington. Let me play a track first, and I'm going to play Ain't That Peculiar. That was Ain't That Peculiar by Fanny, and that the box set. It's I think a 3 CD box set, and that's called The Reprise Years, 1970-1973.
I presume, by the way, that's the cover of Marvin Gaye, right?
I think you're right there, John. Well spotted. So I did see Fanny play actually at Wolverhampton Civic Hall many moons ago, and they were great live. It wasn't very full, the hall, I have to say, but they had something, and I gather they were inspiration for helping to form the Runaways, the all-girl band from LA, and we put out most of the Runaways product quite recently too. So that was Fanny, Ain't That Peculiar. Okay, and then we've got two more tracks to go with the show today, and I'm going to play one of them now, which is by Alien Sex Fiend, a track called Evolution, brackets, Back from the Dread Part 2 Mix. Here it is. that was Evolution, back from the Dread Mix Part 2. And that's by Alien Sex Fiend. And of course, Alien Sex Fiend were signed to Chewy Red when they first started, when they were playing at the Back Cave all those years ago. And they left Chewy Red after a time. They're actually on the Anagram label, which was part of Chewy Red. And they just kept going on their own with their own label. And on this box set alone, there's 5 CDs and more Alien Sex Fiend songs. And they just keep churning them out. And I don't mean that in a negative way. They're all original and high quality tracks. And we're hoping they do some gigs in the UK sometime soon. They're well overdue. It'd be lovely to see them play. Okay, I'm now going to pass on to John for our last track.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, yet another Various Artists compilation we released recently was compiled by a chap called Cale Cannon, who was a designer at Island Records, used to run Antar Records, has managed bands and so on, been involved in music in lots of different ways, mostly creative, for decades now. And he had this idea of focusing, somewhat tongue-in-cheek, in a tongue-in-cheek way, on this fashion in the late 60s, early 70s for bands who appeared to be devil worshippers or indulging in satanic worship. Of course, it was all just theatre. And the name of the compilation, to pay homage to that era, somewhat affectionately, is called The Devil Rides In. And from that compilation, we're going to hear a psychedelic classic, Magic Potion by the Open Mind.
Drink from my magic potion, soon you're gonna really feel fine. One sip and you will see things you never saw before. How do you feel? I feel fine. How do you feel? I feel fine. By my soul, I feel fine. All of a sudden, there's a different world appearing in front of my eyes. If you don't want to try this potion, leave it all for me. How do you feel? I feel fine. How do you feel? I feel fine. Up by my soul, I feel fine.
That was a quite marvellous Magic Potion by the Open Mind from a new 3 CD set, The Devil Rides In, available on our Strawberry imprint. And on that note, perhaps confirming that the devil has all the best tunes, thank you very much for listening, and we'll look forward to hearing you on the next edition of Cherry Red Radio.